Oh, I need some lips.
Oh, too late.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is our first Triple Play Live.
I know.
So that's
exciting.
Very,
I'm very
cool.
excited.
And we're super excited to be here and to be doing it. And we've got some really fun things to talk about today because we actually have our new souvenir line
Yes.
that we've made our quilts with, and they are awesome.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I think, you know, so many people want a souvenir when they come to Missouri Star, and doing it with fabric is just right up our alley.
Exactly.
And so we have a triple play. The block we've chosen today is the Hourglass Block.
Yep.
Wait, let me say this. I'm here with Natalie and with Misty. I got so excited that we have a live
And
audience.
it's Triple Play Week.
And it's Triple Play Week. I forgot to say all the things.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, it's perfect.
That's all right. So anyway, we are going to start with my quilt because our block this month was the Hourglass plus another block.
Yep.
So everybody chose a secondary block, and I chose an Hourglass plus an Hourglass.
perfect.
Nice.
I bet you can't see it in the quilt behind me, though.
Oh,
Look how fun this is.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this great? So here's our Hourglass right here, and then we have this Hourglass right here that is set on sideways.
Yeah.
On
Not point exactly. Is it on point? Or is it just kind of sideways?
Well, technically, it's on point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. Technically, that's my girl right
Yes.
there. All right. So to make our quilt, what you're going to need is one packet of print squares and one packet of background squares. Now, sadly, when I got my packet here, it had one square of the Missouri Star background square in it, and it
Like
didn't occur to
these?
me that we had bolt yardage.
Well, and
yeah.
you didn't know.
No.
You didn't know that our team had put together this
No.
really cool packet of background squares.
No, we're always looking for background squares that are cute and different. And this has, you can't probably see it, but it has the Missouri Star.
Yeah,
it's a white on white.
Tone on
Tone white with the
tonal
star.
print.
And I love it so much, but I use
Yes.
plain white. So here's my plain white right here. One layer cake of that, one layer cake of print. My inner border, I used this yardage right here from the line, and I used 3/4 of a yard. And I cut these into little strips and made this inner border out here.
So cute.
Look, the village
That
is
is really cute.
all around my quilt, our whole little village.
It looks like our main street here in
Yep,
Hamilton.
I love it. Then for my border, it's a nice big 6-inch border, and you'll need a yard and a half for that. And I used this sewing fabric right here because I love sewing.
because you
It's
could.
adorable.
And
Because
it's
I
so
could.
cute.
And it's adorable. My back is all the big mural fabric. So this is the mural fabric right here.
Should we show
And
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
show my back. I mean the back of the quilt.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
So fun.
I love it.
It's a great quilt backing.
Yes, and it's 45, so I did have to sew it together. So you'll need 5 1/4 yards. If you use a 108, it's only 2 3/4, so that's cool. And then I wanted something kind of to pop on the binding, and I used 3/4 of a yard of binding, and I used this little Chuck the Duck because it comes just this bright orange.
It's cute.
You know, it just,
I did a
adds everything
contrasting
together.
binding this time too.
It's really fun.
All right, Misty girl, if
All
you'll
right.
move these things out of the way, we'll get started on the
You bet.
blocks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to make a large hourglass. And I'm going to show that, and so that mostly so the girls don't have to show it, you know, we don't have to show you like 20 times. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 squares and put them right sides together. We're going to draw the line diagonally once, and we're going to sew on both sides. And I've already done that.
Wow, I don't even have to sew.
Wow.
Not for this one. Not for this one.
Okay.
So then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half. And Misty, make sure your iron's nice and warm.
I'm ready.
And then we're going to press this open,
Okay.
both of them. And we're going to press to the dark side. So I keep my dark on the top.
There's one.
There's one. And she's going to press another. And while she's pressing that, I'm going to draw the line corner to corner again so that it goes, what did you say yesterday, Natalie?
Perpendicular.
Perpendicular or crossways to the center
It's a
line.
technical word.
I know. It's like, I'm like, wait, what does that mean? Perpendicular.
Just
All right.
means it crosses the line.
All right. So then we're going to draw a line this way, and we're going to put our 2 pieces together so that they're on opposite sides. So color to white like this, and we're going to snug up that center seam right there. And Natalie, I'm going to have you go ahead, and I'm just going to smoosh this up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
There we go. And sew on both sides of this line.
All right.
This method gives you 2 half square triangles, which I always love when you do one thing and you get 2 blocks.
Yeah.
So Did I get that, or is it a
I
little
think
off?
so. The seam bumped up.
Here's my rule about mistakes. If you put your quilt out and you have to hunt for the mistake, I don't even worry about it.
Yep. Let it go.
If your eye goes to it 3 times, then I fix it. That's the rule for me.
It's a good one.
All right.
All right, so now what we're gonna, like this. And then if you'll grab me, if you'll grab that one. So half,
And this is the clearly perfect slotted trimmer.
it sure is.
A2, is that right?
Yes.
Yep, trimmer A2. So these ones are bigger than
Yes,
than
these are
normal
the larger
sizes.
ones, and I'm lining it up on the 8.5, and I'm lining my seam line up with theirs this way and also this way. And this one comes a little bit over, so I'm just going to move that a little bit, hold it down.
This tool is
And-
great for Hourglass because it gives you that line on the seam that you can really keep all your corners lined up.
Right. So if you'll press that, and then
Course.
I will do this one right here.
And hopefully it's not scooched in the middle. How'd it come out?
Looks great.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Perfect. You did
I'm
good,
always
Nat.
a little nervous. Like, ooh, did I do it right?
All right. So there, that one, and so then you get these little hourglasses like this.
And they're 8.5, is that right?
They are 8.5, squared to 8.5.
Really?
Yep. And the reason I did that is because my next hourglass is 4.5-inch blocks, which
and
they're
also
also
ends up
8.5.
8.5.
So, Misty, are yours different size then?
They are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I looked through all the patterns and I was like, oh, someone's different size. And I
It's
thought it was
me.
Mom, but it's you.
Yep.
No,
Cool.
Mom's 8.5. All right, so here I have 2 blocks together. We're going to make the easy 8 half square triangles, and I have these 2 blocks together, and I have drawn 2 lines so that we can get 8 half square triangles out of here. And Natalie, you'll want to sew on both sides of those lines.
Okay.
And then we will trim those up. I have a bunch here that are already trimmed, but I want to show you how to do that as well. And we love to watch Natalie sew.
We do.
It's meditative, right?
She's so good at it.
That's right.
Oh, stop.
It's
You
true.
flatter me.
She's like, stop, I'm blushing. I actually think we're a lot more goofy on live
I
because,
think so.
you know,
We can be.
we know people are watching right away.
You can get away with it.
Yeah. They don't stop us and
And
say, no,
let's-
go back.
It came unthreaded. So,
Yeah.
Oh, here, I
so
can
if
do it.
there's a
I can do it.
question, this would be the perfect
Yeah, do we
time.
have any questions, Dalton? How many people we
Just
got watching?
one
We got some
second.
people watching?
We have quite a few people watching. Had over 2,300 when we first went live on YouTube.
Nice.
I do have a question here from Deborah. Is it important to set the seams before you press to one side?
So I used to do that all the time, and then I stopped because I just get in a hurry.
Yeah.
And so while it's important, it's not
Entirely necessary. Your
It's-
quilt
yeah.
will still.
as long as you're looking
It
for a
can- it
flat
can be
block at the end of
important,
the
but
day.
not critical.
Yeah,
There
that's
you
what I
go.
was looking for. Important but not critical.
Yes.
So I just forget most of the time because I'm like, oh, I want to see what this looks like. You
Yes.
know, I'm making it. I'm working on it.
It does
So-
help everything lay nicely.
Yes, it does.
One more.
We do have a piece of advice from Linda. She says that she read somewhere that if you ride up on a galloping horse and you can't see the mistake in your quilt, it's good to go.
Yep.
There you go. And for those of you who don't ride a horse, you could like roller skate by. or,
Exactly.
you know, maybe your animal of choice is an ostrich.
Yes.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
True.
I don't recommend ostrich riding.
I've
though.
never ridden one.
I'm
I've just
saying
been near
it's
one and they're
not-
terrifying.
I feel like that's something I should put on my bucket list.
An ostrich?
Ride an ostrich.
Oh. It's not on mine.
Okay.
Okay, so wait. I just cut this on the line, and what I really wanted to do was I really wanted to cut it diagonally and horizontally first. The reason is
mean
the line
vertically
is
and
always going to be
horizontally.
there. Yes, vertically and horizontally first. Thank you. And the reason is the line is always going to be there, and this way we're cutting where there are no lines when our square is still together. But it works either way because basically we're just cutting this into 5-inch sections, and then we're going to cut horizontally, vertically, and diagonally twice. And then we have 8 half square triangles, and we are going to square those. And remember this one, when we made our hourglass, it made 2 blocks. This also makes 2 blocks.
Nice.
And so it's even 1 to 1.
That's perfect.
All right, so I'm going to grab this little thing, and I'm just going to square a couple of these because these get squared to 4.5, like this. And you can see My line is on their line, and it's just a little bit we're trimming off, but that little bit's going to make all the difference when things start fitting together. And so I'll just do a few of these, and then Natalie, we'll have you start sewing them together. We're going to put these blocks together as an hourglass as well.
I'll set the seam this time.
Put this out of the way.
She's setting the
I
seam.
did it.
Oh,
Good girl. Hey, I was
don't
careful.
slice into that one.
I was careful. Oh, there we go. And one more. And then I'm just going to, because I have some of these cut, I'm just not going to trim them up right now. I'll do it later because I can show you.
You do only need to make one block.
Yeah, I can show you the block. And so I have some of these as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to make an hourglass out of these. And that means our 2 colored points are going to go in and our 2 solid points are going to go in. And then you're just going to sew these together as a 4-patch.
Okay.
Like this. And I did not lay those totally tidy, so you might
That's
want to check
okay,
those out. We should use them. Actually, it's not hard work, right?
No.
It's just, and all of us have gotten to where we love squaring.
I really enjoy
So,
it.
and I think it's just because it makes your block so perfect.
So neat. It's very satisfying.
Yeah. All right, Misty, can you grab me a Kleenex down there?
Absolutely.
Right here. Excuse me, everybody.
It's winter.
It's winter, and
And our weather
what it
keeps
is.
going
in
from
Missouri,
one
we call it
extreme
what,
to
the
the
oh my
other.
gosh,
spring of
last
deception?
night
Yes.
we had snow on the ground, sticking snow this
And
morning.
ice.
Ice on our walkways.
Yep.
And when I came over here, I almost didn't need a coat.
I know. It's bizarre.
I just can't. So,
Oh, I should leave those together. I forgot.
yep, leave those. Those should be ready to go as if you've chain pieced them.
Perfect.
Yep.
I
And then
just
we'll just
forgot
put these like this.
and push those 2 apart. So
And then we'll do the same thing to this.
that was
Actually, Misty, since
On
she's
me.
sewing, you
Yeah.
can quickly press
Of
these.
course.
And if you always press to the dark side, then those seams they'll be good either way.
Yep, they'll nest.
Yeah.
And while we're pressing those, we have a question from Brian. Is that a wool pressing mat that we're using today?
It is a
Yes.
wool pressing mat, and we do love the wool pressing mat. I have a small wool pressing mat in my studio, and my iron always leans off the edge.
Oh, it like rolls.
So I have like this little burnt edge
Oh
on my
no.
pressing mat.
trying to maximize space.
All right, you can press that.
Yep.
And I'm excited. I have to say, I've probably laid this quilt out at least 7 times.
Really?
Different things. There are so many things you can do with it. Because I chose on my quilt my darks for the large hourglasses and my lights for the little, I had these 2 together at one point and these 2 together, and I had it coming where it was trying to hook, but because I did light and dark, the fabric didn't make the placement the way that I wanted to, so I ended up doing this. So we have a row of just hourglasses that I sewed together like this, and I just sewed,
It's
one
really
whole row.
interesting how they look. Yeah.
Yes, and then the secondary one, I just switched back and forth so that I was always sewing the color to color. So here's color to color like this, and then color to color. And so it makes them do this,
Yeah.
kind of
Like
ribbon.
a little chevron.
And this is the layout that I like the best. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. 8 times 9 is 72. So I did not use all my blocks because I had a few that were just white
Yeah.
or just or very light, and I didn't think they'd show up. And so 72 blocks. Remember, you get 2 out of each block. And so it just went together quickly and easily. This little piece right here, hand me the piece of the border
Yeah.
that has the little strip on it.
Here you
I
go.
want to show you
It's
how
such
I...
a fun
so
print to play
happy.
with.
So the nice thing about this little border is that it comes on the roll this way. So we're literally cutting this way. Now, my first strip, I just cut, folded. It didn't work. They're not folded exactly. And so then what I had to do was open it up, and I wanted to make sure that I could still see this bottom line right here. So there's a 1/4 inch of fabric below that, actually a 1/2 inch below that, so that I could have a 1/4 in the seam. So I lined up my my ruler right here. I've lined this up for a
So
right-hander.
you use the, I can cut if you want.
So this way, and then when I went back to do the top of it, I did the same thing. I just went a 1/2 inch off of this line, which gave the next row the exactly right amount and gave me a top to sew because there was plenty of, oops,
And it is 2.5 inches, right?
yeah.
It just worked out that way. That's awesome.
Well, I think it was designed that way.
yeah.
And yeah, so it's still 2.5.
It's 2.5 inches.
And because I think,
perfect.
I remember talking to Jackie and saying that we needed a two, you know,
Yeah,
I usually
for that
used a
inner
2.5
border.
for an inner border and that it would be perfect. And so this, I literally just put, you know, how we put our borders on, sides first and top and bottom, and just made it work.
So cute.
Right?
I love
Yeah,
it.
that's really cool.
I think that's
I
really
love
fun.
it.
So that was mine, hourglass plus an hourglass. So I think we called it hourglass twist. Is that right?
Yep.
Hourglass twist?
That's what it says.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And it makes 79 by 87.
Oh, and you use
use
the
the-
a notion to sew.
Yes.
Oh, I
quilting
did use.
pattern.
Yeah, so this notion to sew is fun because it has scissors, it has thread, it has little rotary cutters on it.
Needle.
Yeah. Lots of different
Really
sewing
cute.
notions on it, and I thought it was just perfect for Missouri Star fabric. So who's up next?
I think I'm next.
All right.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right. So should
Well, we will put this stuff over here, and let me get this quilt down.
All right. We'll hang this one.
Could you please help them get the quilt switched?
There we go. Here's this one.
Unless they're gonna do it themselves.
We might just
I don't know.
do it.
We'll
I think
do
this
it.
is the top.
Misty, you can
Okay, let me
talk,
find
and
that.
I will help
We'll
Natalie.
find
Wait,
the
let's
step
find the middle.
out.
is right here.
All right.
Awesome.
Is that middle, guys?
Pretty close, I think. Maybe more
Little
to
bit to the right,
more
Joe.
Jenny's way.
Is that me?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. There.
And that's good enough.
That's good. Do you have my step outs, Cherry? Yes. Thank you.
All right. Hang
All
on.
right.
Want to clear anything off the table?
Yes.
And
There
while
we
we're
go,
moving
this
things
one.
around here, just a quick question for you, Jenny. Anita would like to know, do you recommend starching when making these blocks?
This is so cute, Misty.
Thank
You can starch. The question was asked, do we recommend
Typically,
starching?
I only starch if I'm making really tiny
Me
blocks.
too. Yeah.
Typically, I
Or
only
a lot of
starch
curves.
if mine won't lay down nicely.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not laying down right, then I grab that bottle and douse it
Yeah.
and give
Or
it a
if
go.
you have fabric
oh, let me get you
that,
here in the
like
middle.
the-
Get me to sew, or do you want
The
to
cre-
iron?
I'll iron.
Okay.
If you have fabric that the creases won't come out of, I'll starch
Yeah.
that. You know, it just
To make it
depends.
behave.
So I know a lot of people will actually run their whole fabric through a starch bath. Too ADD to have that kind of patience to wait for it
and
to.
also you like a little bias so that you can ease
do.
Yeah.
one way or the other.
I do. I have
So I
to
think
admit.
it's just whatever you
think-
get used to.
Yeah, and preference and as needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's one of those things where it's like it's a great tool to have at your disposal whenever you need it, but it's not critical.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
We might have rotated this the wrong way. I can't remember exactly,
Well,
but
It looks
it's
fine.
It's
It's
close
square.
enough.
It's three
square.
stars and a middle
It's
and 3
just
stars.
how the 4 patches run is written a certain
well, let me
way,
look at
but
where's your pattern?
I'm not sure.
Will you check the diagram on the pattern, Cherry?
I think it's supposed to go that way. But
We can do that.
Is she right?
Okay,
yeah,
one more
that corner.
time.
Sorry, guys.
We'll flip it.
We are good. We're live.
These are the
That's
things you
fine.
don't usually see on the normal triple plays.
There you
That's
go.
right.
We have to try multiple
Wait,
times.
wait. Show them the back big
Oh
before
yes,
we do
that's
this.
true.
You guys
Okay.
take a look
Look
at
at
this
this.
back.
This fun cheater
Take a
print
look at
with
the back
stars.
behind you.
Take a look at the back behind us.
So cute.
Right? All right.
I love it. Thank you guys.
All right,
And
are we
then-
going the right way now?
Is that right, Cherry?
this way?
Yes, that's
Yes.
All right.
correct.
Okay.
Middle is.
Right here.
Right,
Right
there.
there.
That looks good.
And while we're putting this quilt up here, Susan wants to know, how are we hanging that quilt on the wall behind
We
us?
we have a design wall behind us, and we're just pinning it right into the design wall.
It's got a piece of foam batting and flannel,
Yep. And so we
and
just
it's screwed to the wall.
we just pin
And
right
we put a
into.
lovely frame around it, a wooden frame, so that it, because you bring the flannel to the edge and like
Staple it.
to the wall so
And
that
then
it's
you
all
put a-
flat.
a wood
and then we
frame
put a
to
wooden
cover
frame
the
around it to cover the
Yes,
staples. Yeah.
exactly.
But
So
go ahead.
no, finish what you're saying.
I was just gonna say we get the foam at like a hardware store.
Home
yes,
Depot or someplace, yeah.
absolutely. So this is my quilt. I called it Starlit Path. I just really love my little Ohio Starlight block
Mm-hmm.
that I did way back, and I actually made a big version exactly like this, but this is just a different layout. with more 4 patches that chain through the whole thing. And
love
so
that.
I just couldn't resist doing one more option.
That's right. That's right.
Big.
Exactly. And so these are giant blocks that measure 76 inches square. And let me show you how to do it. It's basically the exact same method that Jenny did for her hourglass, but because I wanted these star legs, I used 2 different sets of colors. So I did an orange with my tone on tone.
Let's just do one.
Let's just make one, and
Yep.
then we'll draw the line corner to corner.
So this first part is the exact same way I did.
Exactly the
Okay.
same, yep. We'll draw that line. There's that. We'll sew on either side.
Okay.
And then this
And
other one.
And we are using the fabulous white on white.
Yes, it's so cute. And so whatever is going to be the legs of your star, you're going to need 2 of that 10-inch square. And so this,
You pick your
So what are
fabrics
your
ahead
legs
of
going to
time.
be?
they're going to, yes, you kind of have to decide a little bit. And so the legs on this one are going to be this fun orange, and then the middle will be these notions. And so we're going to place these together and draw a line as well. Sorry, I was doing too much talking and not enough marking. So we'll sew on either side of that and then trim these. Natalie, if you'll press.
Yep.
Misty, your line didn't quite go to the corner, but
Oh.
I sewed not right on the line, so you want to
Oh, I
line
see.
this corner
Okay,
to corner.
no worries.
There you go. I didn't
Thank
want
you.
Cut off.
Perpendicular again, like we did before.
We learned a new word today.
Yes.
I remember Hillary kept saying trapezoid one time.
are you
I'm like,
making
Hillary,
fun?
nobody knows what that means.
There we go.
She's like, Mom, a lot of people do.
And so then we are going to take one of each of our sets. We're going to pair these together so that we have them going opposites. And then we're going to sew on either side.
And you have to make sure that your 2 orange pieces
Are going on, yes,
on
on
opposite
opposite
sides.
sides.
Opposite sides.
Yes. You actually do need all 4 of these. I have some already ready.
It's interesting. This is one of those things that is a little bit of a challenge to my brain. Like
There we go.
I don't want to attempt it.
Really?
So this is like making the Ohio Star.
Yeah.
Actually, this is how we do it for the Ohio Star.
Exactly.
And we do have a question from Debbie. She wants to know that could these blocks be made using upcycled denim?
Oh,
sure.
sure.
And could that be long-armed afterwards?
It can be long-armed. You have to set your long-arm foot a little bit higher because when you get to where all the seams are together, that's like 8 layers of denim.
Gets to be thick.
Unless you're just using the denim inside. If you're just using the squares of denim inside, you totally can long arm it, and it totally is just like a heavier piece of fabric. So it would feel like you were quilting upholstery fabric.
Yeah.
And so it would be fine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I do a lot of jean quilts, and I even put batting in them. They're very heavy. It's like a weighted blanket. My family likes them. Oh, I'm glad you're going to use this ruler.
I am. So I squared mine to 9 instead of 8.5, and so I am just going to look on my ruler, and I have this diagonal line that I'm having on this seam line, and then I need to make sure that my 9-inch mark meets those other points.
Yeah. The points just have to go into the corners of the ruler and of your
Exactly.
measurement.
So I've trimmed these sides, and then I can flip this around. Same idea. This should go right where I want it, and then we just trim off the excess.
I would like to say I could replicate that, but that makes absolutely no sense to my brain. Isn't that
Really?
interesting?
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
And so I have the rest of these all squared and ready to go. And so you need 4 for your big blocks. So you can see I have them ready. And they're going to go like this. But, oh,
Sorry.
phantom sewing.
No, it wasn't my foot. My foot was on the thing.
Oh, I just don't want you to sew yourself to the machine.
Oh, it wouldn't be the first time.
It'd be terrible. All right, and so now we can move on to our 4 patches. So I'll set these aside
Wait, what
for
was
now.
in the middle?
4 patches.
4 patches.
Yes. See?
Oh, it sure does.
It
All
chains through. Okay.
right. I should have looked better.
You're fine. And so then to do that, we are going to take another print. Oops, they're all pinned together. Here we go. a print and our background, and we'll put those right sides together, and we are going to sew on opposite sides.
All right. This is one of my favorite ways to make 4 patches.
We actually need to do that with 2.
Done.
Hard to tell which is which.
I know, I'm like, is that up or down? But I think it's that way, is right sides.
So do you know what helps me with that? When I'm using a white on white fabric, I will lay it on my dark pants. And you can instantly see which side is light and which side is
That's a great
dark. So I'll
tip.
just put it down and I'll look, and you can really instantly see.
So she sewed on both sides. I'm just going to cut this in half now, and then I'll let Natalie press these open.
Yay.
And speaking of that tone-on-tone fabric, Gwen would like to know what's printed on that particular one.
Missouri Stars.
I wonder if there's some way we could
Really see it.
see
Like
it.
if you put it against the black mat, will it show up?
I don't
I
know.
can see it pretty well right there, so if
Oh, with
hold
the
it.
light showing through, showing through it.
perfect right there. Up a
See, it
little bit,
has
Jared.
a little Missouri Star print on it.
Yeah.
FYI, on this, Misty, if you drew a line down the middle,
see it?
we could sew the sides and the middles.
Well,
both
but
sides.
we have to switch them.
Oh, they have to be switched.
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
well, there we go. If you're making plain ones, that's a
That
really good idea.
It would work, absolutely.
It's just another little hack.
Yep. So then we'll press that, and then we'll set these opposite.
And then we sew down the sides again, correct?
Exactly.
There you go.
So then we'll just put these 2 fabrics together like that, and we'll sew down these sides.
All right. Let me make sure they're snugged up.
Did you make your 2 sets of 2 the same, or did you mix
I
everything?
mixed everything.
very-
I
okay.
mixed it up, yeah. I had them together, but then I didn't keep those with a block. I just shuffled all of my 4 patches so that they all had something a little different.
Nice.
Well, I love the scrappy look.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, if you want the chain to be really bold, you
Yeah.
would choose all bold colors.
That's true, absolutely. Here we go. And there's one more. Now we can cut this in half this direction. You just want to make sure you're cutting perpendicular to that seam. That's the word of the day. It's the word of the
Oh my
day, Nat.
goodness.
I love it. Okay, and then when you open it up, we have our 4 patches.
They're so cute.
They are so cute. And I trimmed those with my square ruler as well.
Oh, you square these down.
Yes, because they end up a little big.
Yeah, they should end up about 9.5.
Yes, and so we have to square them down to 9, which means I need my middle line to be on the 4.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So that's what I'm checking. So this is in
it's basically a 1/4 of an inch all the way
all
around.
the way around. Yep. So we'll just trim and trim, and then we can rotate this.
Now, where do you put the middle thing?
So
On the
I
4.5?
am looking, I'm just measuring in 4.5.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.5 on that center line.
Oh,
and
okay.
same this way so that it all works out. And then we can just trim. There we go. And so
Very
now we can start assembling our block. Let me put some of this out of the way. This is a giant block, which is super
Scoot this
satisfying
over.
and fun
It really
because
is.
then your quilt goes together so fast. So here's our star.
Wait.
Oh, thank you. Perfect. And then our little 4 patches go this way.
That one's still big, but that's
Oh,
okay.
that's okay. I have more up here. We can swap it out. Just like so. And then these other corners are just a 9-inch background square. Just like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't
That's
that fun?
beautiful.
And then it's this beautiful,
This would just
big
make a
block.
great wall hanging by itself.
or a baby quilt. You can
Or
put
a
some
baby
borders
quilt.
around this
Yeah,
thing.
you could border that thing like 4 times and it'd be
Exactly,
perfect.
and it's ready to go. So that's
awesome.
it.
I know a
It's-
baby who might need one of these.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
We have a baby.
Awesome.
So that is my quilt.
So you made 1, 2, 3.
Yes, 3 across and 3 down. It's just 9 big blocks.
9 big blocks.
And it's a great size. It's 76
And we showed the back
square.
when we started.
We did.
Quilting pattern,
It's
Sticky
sticky
buns.
buns.
sticky buns,
Yeah.
and the size 76 by 76.
Yep, and I used
And
the
you
same
use
little
this-
orange as my binding. So
Oh, I love
Awesome.
that. I'm actually glad to see this on
That
the
is
binding. I was
so
worried it would be a
cute.
little too linear, but it looks
it
perfect.
looks great. Yeah.
It's adorable.
Awesome. So
Awesome. Well,
Nat, you're
Nat,
up
you're
next.
up.
Let me clean
Okay.
up my pieces.
Yay.
I'm going to grab a little drink of water. We have any questions, Dalton?
We do. Valerie would like to know, why would you use the method of sewing around the square versus sewing down the lines?
Well, for one, you can get more. For two, you're looking for different sizes. For three, any of them work. It's just personal preference. For me, that made sense to my brain to sew around, although it does leave the bias edges exposed. Excuse me.
I don't think it matters which way.
But that's, you know, for me, it's just kind of personal preference. And when I started, I didn't know there was quilt police or rules or ways you were supposed to do
Is
things.
this
And I
centered,
come from a
Brian?
clothing background, sewing, and so we love the bias.
Centered?
You're good.
You want me to sew on this one?
Whatever you want to do.
I haven't sewed yet, so I'll sew.
All right. I just hope I'm not going to, I'm just feeling a tickle in my throat. I don't
Oh,
want to
no.
cough through the whole thing.
And I do have Michael from Chicago as well. I think he's really enjoying these quilts because he wants to know if they're maybe going to appear in the finished quilt shop.
Oh.
So tutorial
Not
quilts
yet.
don't go in the finished quilt shop, but if we do happen to make an extra,
Love this, Nat.
it would go there.
Thank you.
Love that linen background.
Yep, I used Essex linen graphite. I have a sticky note stuck to my foot. Nice.
That's funny.
Okay, so my quilt I called Hourglass and Stars. Very descriptive name for you. Maybe not the most creative.
Because
but
it's hourglasses.
it's
and
hourglasses
beautiful.
and stars. And to make my quilt, you're going to need a package of 10-inch squares. You'll need some background, about 2 1/4 yards, and that includes the inner border right here, which is 2.5 inches.
It's fun to see it with a different background.
Yeah,
That
I-
Essex Linux gives it so much texture.
It's
It's
great. I just
beautiful.
wanted to see what it would look like with
Yeah.
something besides white. I thought, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
So my outer border is 1 1/4 yards, and it's a good size. I believe it's a 5-inch border. And
I do love your
I think
binding.
on
It's so
borders, you can
pretty.
just do whatever you want. If you want to make it 6-inch or 10-inch, go for it.
Yeah.
So for me,
absolutely.
if I'm fitting it to something, that determines my border size
Yeah.
or how many borders I add. Like this top may go over the top of a queen size bed, but if you want to
If you
drop,
want hanging,
you know, then
sides,
if
have
you
to add more.
and remember when you add
Yeah.
borders that if you're adding a 4-inch and a 6-inch, that's like 10 inches. But because you're adding to both sides, it's really 20 inches bigger
Right.
on the quilt.
So it makes a difference
just
quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
borders
yeah.
can make a huge difference. But you want to
And-
show the back?
Yep, so the back is this great print. It's just squares. It's like 2.5-inch postage
So
stamp
cute.
looking, amazing cheater print fabric that I absolutely love.
I love it too.
Adorable.
The
so much.
quilt pattern is called Circle Meander.
Yep.
And this came loose. Oops.
There we go.
And the binding, 3/4 yard. Almost every quilt we do is 3/4 yard for binding. So
Yeah, it's true.
It's a great little size. It's this yellow,
The light
yellow print from the line. It's a tonal print, same as the white, but in
So,
yellow.
so in the white print, we have the white, the yellow, and a light
teal,
aqua
an
blue.
Yeah,
aqua
the aqua
color.
color.
Yeah, and actually a little bit. Oh, is that actually
No,
a print or?
it's-
We'll just peek through here and
That's
see.
from
This
the
one
cheater
right
cloth.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
so-
it is.
So this aqua color.
That gives you a good idea of what all
Yeah,
those
this is what the
tonals
white
look
on
like.
white looks like as well.
So yeah, we could show this, and maybe it'll give you a better idea. Can you see that?
Jared, thank you. Yes.
There we go.
So
Perfect.
this is what the white and the yellow look like. They're tonal prints, and
Here's
they're
the
just
yellow.
they're beautiful.
They're so pretty.
And the white is
So-
the same. They're just tossed, so there's no linear.
Yeah.
For those people that have that line thing, like I
Yes.
do.
Okay, so let's get started. So I made my hourglass blocks just the same way Mom did. They're
Okay.
8.5. I don't think I need to show them again, do you?
I
No.
think no.
No.
Just
Probably
back
not.
up to the first where mine shows because you just lay two squares together, draw the line,
Yep,
so on both
we've
sides.
done hourglass twice.
Exactly.
They're essentially exactly the same thing.
And how much do yours measure?
8.5.
8.5. So
Yep.
exactly the same
all
as
of
mine.
all the squares in this quilt are 8.5 inches.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And I used lighter squares on my stars because I wanted the star legs to pop. And then I just used the darker ones for the hourglass. And some of them, like this one I did dark, that was when I learned that you just can't really see it very well against the graphite background. So, you know, if you're
light
using a darker background, use your lighter squares for things that you want to stand out.
Look for the contrast.
Yeah,
that.
especially when you have smaller pieces. With the larger pieces, it doesn't seem to make any difference at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, that's a good
I do
point.
want to mention, because I sewed a block with the graphite, with the linen,
Uh-huh.
and it has a little bit more, a looser weave. So
It
Yes.
does. It has a little bit more
yeah,
stretch.
so just be careful and don't pull
It
that.
has a bit of a learning curve, but
Yeah,
it's beautiful to sew
Starch might be your
Yes,
friend.
exactly.
Starch might be your friend.
Okay, so to make the stars, I I took a page out of Misty's book and we did let's use this one. I like this print. It's got like
you did the all the way around.
I did your stars, the method that you did in, is it called Stars and
Sawtooth
Stripes?
Stars and Stripes, yeah.
Yeah, Sawtooth Stars and Stripes.
It's a fun
And
way.
you cut your
So
linens.
all of my linen actually is into 2.5-inch squares or 2.5-inch strips. These are for the Hourglass.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you didn't
if you're
stack
making
them and okay.
No, yeah.
All right.
No, I didn't because I didn't have the ones that you swapped back and forth.
Okay,
she-
perfect.
yeah, she
so,
only needs the
so
prep.
Misty's has when you see Misty's star thing, it's swapped.
swapped back
So
and
it's a good
forth.
thing you're going to show this.
So I
Okay.
didn't do that. I
So we've
did
got this-
just one layer and I just cut a bunch of 2.5-inch squares.
Perfect.
So this needs to be squared down to 9.5 before you get started. Correct me if I'm wrong, Misty.
No, you're right. You're on it.
Okay, good. Just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
You've got this.
Okay.
So I actually forgot the 9.5 when I was doing it one time, and I'm like, why aren't
It
these
doesn't
fitting?
match.
Not working.
All right, so you're going to square those down for your stars, and then you're going to take your 2.5-inch ruler and just cut 2.5 all the way around the entire piece of fabric, which I think is so cool.
It's a very cool way to make stars.
And Natalie, we've gotten a ton of comments. People just love the gray background. in this
Oh,
quilt.
that's
yeah,
awesome.
it's gorgeous. I'm glad you guys are liking that.
I think it's fun to just try something a little bit different.
Yes,
Mom, will you cut this
absolutely.
last
I
cut
will.
so I don't have to go behind my arm or something?
Yes, I will.
Because you're left-handed
A
and it's
lefty
on the
helper.
left side. There you go.
Yeah, and so on this, you might want to use a rotating mat.
mat.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a rotating mat, remember if your mat is small, or even if it's big on the top, you can rotate it. You can
Pick
turn
it
it.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pick it up and turn it. So there
Okay,
you go.
so now what we're gonna do, we are gonna take these blocks and these ones get star legs added.
Yep.
So to do that, you can draw the line or press the line or just use your diagonal seam tape, but you're going
You're
to
sewing
just do,
right on the diagonal, right?
So
Yep,
right
point to point.
right on the line, point to point, and we'll line them all up and do one side, and then we'll trim, press, flip, and do the other side.
This is seriously my favorite way to make stars. So when we did our baby quilt, this was the star I used for the dinosaur quilt.
Yep, it's absolutely amazing. One of my favorite things. Well, that one seems like it might be a little small, so I'm going to switch it out for one that's. There we
fits
go.
nicely
That's
there.
cut
Just
a little
tip,
better.
if you do get a square that's a little small, if you just like kind of put it evenly small on
Center
the
it
other
a
sides,
little bit.
it will get caught in the seam. So
Yeah.
I got a little crookedy there, so I'm just going to do that seam again.
That's okay.
There we go.
Happens
Fixed
to
it.
us all.
she's a wild girl.
All right. So I will cut, and you can flip and press.
I am ready.
We'll get
And
through
we'll
this
pass
in
this
no
to
time
Misty.
at all.
Perfect. Yep, and I'll add to the other side.
Okay.
So we're just going to put this on the opposite side, and we're going to sew point to point so that it intersects with that first star leg that we
That's
put on.
right.
Wait.
Oops, sorry, I gave that to Misty instead of you.
Yeah, I kind of skipped a step. Sorry, Nat.
What do you mean?
Well, because I handed it to Misty before you explained.
Yeah, no
There you
worries.
go. Now you can show.
All right. So we'll add the other square to this side and sewing corner to corner or point to point, making sure that your centers overlap. And they do because your little rectangle is 4.5 and your 2.5s overlap by plenty to keep your star point.
You won't lose your point.
Yep. Super
Unless
easy.
you're sewing a 5/8 inch seam, which you shouldn't be.
I'll let
You
you
should be
No.
sewing a 1/4 inch.
Well, you're not really sewing any kind of inches because you're just going point to point.
Yeah.
No, I mean when they lose, not to lose the
Oh,
point.
when you're, yes, yes. When you assemble your block, be sure to use a 1/4 inch.
Oh.
All right.
And Misty, Christina would like to know, what sewing machine are you working with today?
This is a Baby Lock Accomplish. It's a straight stitch, super fast, great for piecing.
All right. So now we're just going to place these with the background fabric or the Essex linen facing the light fabric in the middle, and you've got a star.
Ta-da!
So cute.
That's it. So I just do this chain piecing thing.
All right.
So I'll give you each piece as it goes.
Got it nice and straight and everything.
Kind of.
Looks pretty good.
Now I've got to straighten this one out better, just
Oh.
so I don't mess you up.
Sorry, I didn't look at that
There
one.
you go.
We do have a question from Michael, Natalie.
Yeah.
He says he's a little confused. Is the hourglass making the sawtooth star look like it's on point, or did you put them on point?
No, the hourglass makes it look like it.
look like it's on point. These
All
are
right.
all set
Yeah, you'll
straight.
see. You'll see.
So then I need
Oh, this
this
one
one.
for there.
Yep.
You got a bunch of these done.
I do. I have quite a few blocks made so we can kind of show how it lays out.
Oh no, came unthreaded.
It literally throws the star on point. Good question, Michael. So I love those kind of tricks in quilting where, you know, you're like, how did
I love how this works. So the hourglasses are opposite. Every row is opposite. These ones you'll see are kind of side to side, and these ones are up and down. And that creates this box around the star.
that throws it on point?
Right. So then each star is going to have, this one has like a background of the Essex linen, and this one has a background of the print.
I love that.
And what was the finished size of this quilt, Natalie?
That is 63, 69 squared.
69 by 69.
Yep.
And we do have a question. Would it be possible to make these quilts bigger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when we do a quilt for any tutorial, we try to make as good use of whatever pre-cut we're given, which in this case is a layer cake. We try to make as good of use of that as possible. And so that you know that if you want to make it bigger, you just have to add another pre-cut.
Buy another layer
Yeah,
cake
buy
and
another
add
layer
a
cake.
little bit.
And,
More
you know, double your
background.
yardage, and you will be able to.
Well, if you double everything, you'll double this.
Yes.
So it'll be
you will
real
have,
big.
You'll have quite a bit left over for your stash or to make a table runner or whatever. But
So remember with pre-cuts, 4 charms equals 1 layer cake. And 1 charm makes a baby, 2 makes a crib, 3 makes a lap, 4 makes a twin. 4 charms equal 1 layer cake. So twin, twin. If you have 2 layer cakes or 8 charms, it's going to be closer to a queen.
king, queen, yeah. Queen, king, whatever.
Almost done.
She's getting there. One more seam.
One more seam.
And let's move these out of the way so we can show off this pretty layout.
Yes. Trying to get all my seams to go where I want them to go. There we go.
I'm so good at this picking up after kids.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, Mom.
There we go. Got it.
All right.
Let me iron this.
Press that.
And then you can talk about the layout.
And we'll start. So I started, stars in the corners. And it doesn't, I did. Okay. I just have to make sure I'm doing it right.
We always have to double
So
check.
yeah,
Here, I'm going to plop
like
this
that.
one here. Oh, no.
Well,
no.
you can. I'll switch it with something else.
It's all right. It doesn't matter. We can put this
Okay.
one down here.
All right. And then our hourglass blocks go
In between.
every other way. Yep.
And it looks like you worked hard and set all those on point. It's
Yes, it
so
does.
cute.
So that is it. I don't think I have any more star blocks. I have lots of hourglass blocks. But that's it.
So run for the rows. So
So-
you've got,
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2. Well, it'd be 7 by 7 because
Yeah.
it's square. And every row is star, hourglass, but every other row you can do like an A, B, A, B. These ones are sideways and these ones are up and down. And that creates these on point boxes.
Sideways.
I see,
up,
yeah.
Does that make sense? So they're up and down and sideways all throughout.
That makes sense. Awesome.
And that's it. It's pretty simple.
Very
all right.
So
Well,
I hope that works.
yeah, I think we
Yeah.
have time for a few questions if you have any questions.
We sure do.
Absolutely.
All right.
Question from Ruth. When making your star points, do you sew exactly corner to corner or a thread width to allow for fabric fold over?
We're not usually that precise, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's typically you try to go corner to corner.
I don't even see the thread width anymore, so, you know, I'd have to have a pretty good magnifying glass to
I
see
think
that.
all of us really quilt because we enjoy it and we just try to have joy in it and we don't worry about
The tiny,
the tiny things.
Yeah.
Too much.
I would say that's our philosophy.
Yeah.
Well, we're utilitarian too, so we're making
Yeah.
quilts for people to love and use and wear out.
Yes.
Right.
And if we were worried about it being hanging in a museum or a
Sure.
show, we would pay a little different attention to it.
Absolutely.
But we,
Technically,
Yeah.
the thread width would actually make it a little more exact.
It would.
Sure.
It absolutely
So
would.
if you want to do that, go for it. It's a great.
It's a personal
It's a
thing.
great technique if you want to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we really worry about it because we're just more relaxed than that.
Yeah.
what else, Dalton? What you got?
Nora says, my finished hourglass blocks ended up wavy. Is there a way to save them?
Just starch 'em.
Starch.
Starch.
And Michael wants to know, is the binding also from the new line?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Everything we showed you.
So this binding
Yeah.
is the yellow tone on tone that we held up with the aqua and the yellow and the white. This is the yellow, and I love that we used all
It's
different
so
colors.
cute.
I
and all.
know. It
Yeah.
worked out great.
We actually don't know when we're making these. We know the block we're using,
Yeah.
but we don't know what each other's quilts are going to look like until generally the very end. And so,
It's just fun
I
to
will
see it.
say too on this one, I pieced the back together because it's 45, but because it's all these little squares, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so easy to match, and you can't even tell that there's
Oh,
a seam
Yeah.
There
that
is a seam
magical.
there.
That's so great. It's just like it is. It's like magic. And I was like,
I-
I love it.
I love
awesome.
that.
And there is a question about the Quilt Town fabric specifically, whether there will be more coming, and yes, there will.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's more coming.
They've already ordered more. It's on its way.
Yeah, you guys
on
have
the rails.
loved it, thrilled
We're
about
excited too.
it. Yes.
yeah, and it is on the rails.
Yes.
The
On
other
its
thing
way
is
here.
if you're interested in any of these patterns, they're available right now as digital downloads. The
Yep.
print patterns are coming soon. They've
Yes.
been ordered. They're just not here yet.
Yes.
So
Sometimes things take a little longer than we expect.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
there's all these systems and processes and
And everybody's
Yeah.
just doing the best they can.
Yep.
That's all we can do.
That's right.
Yeah.
More questions?
We actually have a question as well about Birthday Bash and what is Golden Star.
Okay.
Talk about that a little bit.
Hamilton Moe, wait and see.
oh boy.
So Golden Star is a contest that we run, and for the next so many days, every $10 purchase you make gives you enters you into the contest, because we're going to pick 15 winners to come to Hamilton during Birthday Bash, and they get a shopping spree and they get everything. So because it's our 15th year, we're going to do that. We put on a whole little play about it.
Yes.
Misty and Natalie
I'm
bravely.
already trying to forget
I was
that
gonna say,
happened.
They bravely
we put it out of our
They
minds.
bravely rapped. When Jacob
I'd
told
like
us
to-
this was what we wanted to do,
I
I wrote him a
know.
note and said, Mama doesn't rap, and I spelled it W-R-A-P, so he would know for sure that I didn't rap. So I guess
it
the
was
other
fun.
things.
It
It
was
was
a lot
so
of fun.
much fun, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to make the little video, and it's a little contest that we're having, and you can find, they'll link to it on this. And then also, Birthday Bash is held every September.
Yes.
It's the
We
third week.
celebrate our
fourth week.
anniversary of opening.
It's our birthday
September
party.
22nd, almost
It almost
always.
always falls over the 22nd, which,
Yeah, that's
which
Misty's.
is my
also
birthday.
Misty's birthday.
Yes.
It's a big party.
It's a big party, so it's a birthday party
Yes.
because it's our birthday, and we play all the birthday games.
We do all
But
the things.
instead of we do cakewalks, but they're not for like food cake, they're for layer cakes.
Yes.
Everything is fabric related, so it's very fun.
And mostly you have to dance for your prizes.
Yes, we
Pretty
do
much.
love to dance.
Yes. And there's
Dancing and music. There's all kinds of little workshops and demos all through
Yes.
town. All the shops will
it's
have
just a
like
huge event for us.
vendors come to town, so there's fun things to buy. There's
They make-
food trucks on Saturday.
They make these enormous birthday cakes out of fabric and notions
Yes.
that you can buy raffle tickets
enter
for.
to buy
Yeah,
or
it's,
to
it's
to
so
win.
much fun. Yeah, it's very, very fun. It's over
There
about
will
3
be
days.
Trunk
and
shows and designers.
all the things. We also have Missouri Star Academy, which is happening in June. And for me, I love that because it's, for most of us, we may love a designer, but the designer designs a fabric and it goes to the fabric house that they work for. And then the fabric house sells it to the shop. So you don't ever get to interact with the designer. And we bring in these designers from all over the world. And you literally have like little mini classes where every 45 minutes you go to another class and another class and another class.
It's just a wealth
and
of knowledge.
You get to meet a lot of the designers, and it's just really a fun event. So that's Missouri Star
It's
Academy.
a great place to
You'll want to watch for that,
see all the people that you love.
right? Yeah, it's very fun.
Kind of like a big fabric reunion.
Yeah.
And the
Did
other,
we cover all the things?
Well, I was just going to ask, can we talk about the quilt auction?
We absolutely can.
Can we talk about
for
that?
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
Oh yeah, that's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So this is National Quilt Month
Yes.
right now.
Is it next week or the week after?
So the quilts will go live for bidding online on the 21st, which is
Okay.
this coming Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay.
And we will have a live show on the 29th, which is the
Okay.
following Wednesday.
Yes. So
Okay,
so there'll be I don't know how many quilts. At least 15.
15 exactly.
15
Yeah. Okay.
quilts.
And
15 years.
and we'll be
and it's-
auctioning those.
Yes, and it's all to benefit Quilts of Valor this year.
It is, yeah.
Which is
And
really
so
great.
we love that it's benefiting Quilts of Valor.
Yeah.
But they'll be online for a week, and you can bid on them, and then we'll have a live.
Which we've never
ending.
done that before.
Right. No.
Typically, you only have that day to.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of feedback from
Yeah.
people.
bid.
A lot of
Yes.
people wanted. They said, "Can you put them online for longer?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Yep.
We
so
can
you'll
totally
be
do
able
that.
to look at them, figure out which one you want the most, bid during the week, and then
Yes.
we'll have the live, and that'll finish it out.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So-
And if you are
Very
interested
cool.
in looking into that, maybe check out the website this weekend.
Okay.
Oh,
Keep an
okay,
eye
so
on
this
social. Maybe
weekend-
you can get registered to bid coming very soon.
Great.
Because this
Yeah,
Saturday,
all bidding
Isn't-
happens on your smartphone, whether
Yes.
you're in person or
Yeah.
online.
Even
It's-
if you're sitting-
everybody has the same way to bid.
you just
Yep.
bid on your phone. And then this Saturday is National
Quilting Day
Day.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So today we are all, most of us.
Look, I have green ears.
Yes,
Okay, I
she-
won't pinch her. I won't pinch her.
Oh yeah. So happy
We're
St.
wearing
Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we're
That's
wearing our
right.
Irish. And just one more little note on the quilt auction.
Yeah.
I generally draw.
You're gonna love what's coming this week.
It's amazing.
Yes, so I have assembled
We
an
haven't
incredible.
seen the whole thing.
That's
We've
true.
just
We've seen
pieces.
parts. That's true. But even then, it's
It's
great.
gonna be a
And her
masterpiece or a monster piece. We'll see.
Well, it is. If any of you have ever watched Edward Scissorhands.
Whoa! Don't,
Don't
give
give it away.
I didn't.
Jenny.
Oh,
I can't
she
help
cannot
myself.
keep a secret.
I can't help myself.
And out
I
it
even got a
goes.
leather jacket on eBay that's like perfect. It's the best. You're gonna love
Yeah,
this.
it's gonna be
You'll
great.
Love this, yeah.
Okay, you'll love it or hate it, but
Or hate
either
it,
way,
whatever.
you'll laugh.
But we'll have fun. Either way, we'll have fun.
We do
And I
always
won't
have
be
fun.
wearing that for a week, by the way. Just that night.
Just that
Yeah.
night. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
What else, Dalton? Anything else?
We do have a few more. For Birthday Bash specifically, are there activities for non-quilters? Is there a place for spouses to go?
We do have a lovely building called Man's Land, and it is called Man's Land because that used to be a clothing store called Man's Land. But it is for any non-quilters. There are 12 recliners, 2 televisions, a pool table, several vending machines, and every recliner comes with its own remote. The remote doesn't go to anything. It's just for you to hold for comfort. So it's the comfort remote. And that was my idea, by the way. I mean, anybody my age, I don't know why we can get rid of a TV, but we have to save all the remotes. I don't know why that's a thing. We have drawers of remotes that I don't know what they go to. But anyway, so we provided every recliner with a remote, and it's kind of fun. But there are also other things that you can do. We have a reservoir. You can fish. We have a
18-hole golf course.
no, it's a 9-hole golf course.
Nine-hole
But if you
golf
play
course?
it twice,
Then
it's
it's 18.
Yep.
I was
it's-
just getting the thread
if you play
glitter.
it twice, it's 18. You know.
Okay, okay.
There are some other local activities, and we're close to Kansas City. Where
And
there's a huge
especially
amount of
during
stuff.
Birthday Bash, there's always, like, people bring their whole family, and there's little make and takes. So even if you're not necessarily a quilter, there's different things for you to
Yeah,
do.
we have a leather
and
shop
all
and a
kinds of fun
painting
things
shop.
for you to
And then
participate
on
in.
Saturday, there's a big, like a whole bounce house complex that happens.
Exactly.
You know.
It coincides with our local JCPenney days, and so it's our big festival.
Yeah.
Is this steam engine show that?
It's
No,
not.
it's
next
earlier.
month,
It's in
isn't
August.
It?
Yeah.
In August?
Yes.
It's in
A month
August, yeah.
earlier. Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Well, if you drive around, you could probably find some tractors or lawnmowers and
There
people
you
around.
go. You just never know.
It's an adventure every day here.
What else?
So true.
We do have a question. Will there be any more triple play books coming up anytime soon?
I hope so.
I think it's probably about time.
It's probably about time for another.
Yeah, I
We'll
hope
work
so.
on that.
I love those myself.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'd like to do one of those a year.
We'll see. We got to
there's-
talk to the powers that be.
Yeah,
yep.
for sure.
And there's been a lot of love for this today, so there's the question, of course, would you consider doing triple play live again in the future?
Well, sure.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Triple play live is fun.
We actually
Absolutely.
enjoy
I've
doing
enjoyed
live.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fun.
been great.
Yeah.
Because you get what you get, and
Awesome.
you don't throw a fit,
Again,
right?
the
right.
powers that be.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been so much fun.
It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
I
Love it.
love
Should we
doing
grab
it.
our quilts?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We got to do our big
Do our,
send-off.
our send off as we always
Mom.
do.
All right.
You got your.
Hold your
I'll
block.
hold my block.
Uh-oh.
Oh no,
Misty.
I get it.
Or-
All right. Well,
My
I'm gonna.
quilt was trying
I'm
to
gonna
jump
wear mine.
into my arms.
I'm gonna wear mine because it's more fun that way.
Absolutely.
And you're
Oops.
cold, right? You're chilly on this
Of course,
day.
I'm frozen. Oh wait, probably my microphone. I can't probably.
You're
Was I
bumping.
okay? Don't want to bump my microphone.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you for joining us today, and we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on the Hourglass Block from the Triple Play Girls at Missouri Star Quilt Company.
We'll see you
Bye.
later.
Bye, everybody.